Hello and welcome to another episode of Truck and Overhaul, where we're studying the CDL training book. So I'd like to welcome everybody, and we're trying to break it down as little as possible so you can retain the information. That way you don't have any problems recalling the information when you go in to take the CDL test. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so this is section 2, 1.4. So CDL pre-trip vehicle inspection tests. This is one of the things that they're going to ask you on the inspection for your pre-trip. In order to attain a CDL, you will be required to pass a pre-trip vehicle inspection test. You will be tested to see if you know whether your vehicle is safe to drive. You will be asked to do a pre-trip inspection of your vehicle and explain to the examiner what you will inspect and why. The following 7-step inspection method should be useful. Seven-step inspection method. A pre-trip inspection should be conducted the same way each time so the driver will learn all the steps and be less likely to forget something. Approaching the vehicle. Notice general condition. Look for damages or vehicle leaning to one side. Look under the vehicle for fresh oil, coolant, grease, or fuel leaks. Check around the area around the vehicle for hazardous to vehicle movement. So you want to make sure nobody's standing around the truck. Check for other vehicles, objects, low-hanging wires, limbs. So pretty much anything that could cause a tire blowout, damage to the truck. You want to check and make sure you don't run into none of these problems. This is step 1, vehicle overview, review, last vehicle inspection report. So you want to check the last vehicle inspection report. Make sure if they had any repairs that needed to be fixed, that they have been fixed and signed off on. Drivers may have to make a vehicle inspection report in writing each day. The motor carrier must repair any items in the report that affect safety and certify on the report that repairs were made or were unnecessary. So that's one thing you want to think about. They're required to fix any safety issues, anything that could cause a safety problem. But anything that's unnecessary, they're not required to fix it. You must sign the report only if defects were noted and certified to be repaired or not needed to be repaired. So that's something you want to remember. Step 2, check engine compartments. Check that the parking brakes are on and our wheels chalked. You may have to raise the hood, tilt the cab, that's for older models, secure loose items so they do not fall or break something, or open the engine compartment doors. Check the following. So this is what you're going to do when you're doing your pre-trip. You're going to check your engine oil levels, your coolant level in the radiator. You're going to check the condition of the hoses, the power steering fluid levels, the hose condition that runs to the power steering, and make sure you have windshield washer fluid. So you want to check that also. Now, you want to also check your battery fluid levels. Check your connections and tie downs. Make sure your battery is properly mounted and secure. It won't move while you're rolling down the road. Automatic transmission fluids. You want to check that. May be required engine to be running. So something you want to remember. Check belts for tightness and excessive wear. So you're going to check your alternator, water pump, air compressor. Learn how much give the belt should have when adjusted right, and check each one. So you're going to check each one of your belts. Leaks in the engine compartment. You want to check for fuel leaks, cooling, oil, power, steering fluid, hydraulic fluid, battery fluid. All right, so check, make sure you don't have no leaks. Also, you want to check for crack, worn electrical wiring insulation. All right, so now let's lower the and secure the hood, cab, or engine compartment door. Now you're going to start the engine and inspect inside the cab. So you're going to get in and start the engine. Make sure parking brakes is on. Put gear shift in neutral or park if you're in an automatic truck. Start the engine, listen for any unusual noises. Now, if equipped, check the anti-lock braking system. You want to make sure the indicator lights are working. So you're going to look on the dash. The light should come on and then turn off immediately. If it stays on, the ABS is not working properly. For trailers only, if the yellow light on the left rear of the trailer stays on, the ABS is not working properly. So that's something you can see out your rearview mirror. Now, look at the gauges. All right, so now you're going to check your oil pressure. Should come up to normal range within seconds after the engine is started. Air pressure. You're going to check your air pressure. Pressure should build from 90 to 50, from 50 to 90 psi within 3 minutes. Build air pressure to govern cutout. Usually around 120 and 140 psi. No vehicle requirements. Amp meters and or voltmeters should be in normal range. So these are some of the things you want to look at to make sure you know it's working properly. You want to check your cooling temperature. Should begin rising gradually to normal operation range. Usually this rise, it takes a little while for it to rise. Engine oil temperature should begin gradually rise to normal operation range. Warning lights and buzzing. All cooling, charging circuit warnings, and anti-lock braking system lights should go out right away. So if you look at the diagram down below, it shows you some PSIs as far as the oil pressure when you turn the truck on. So when you're just sitting there, it should be between 5 and 20 PSIs, and when you're operating, it should go up. Check condition of controls. You're gonna check all the following for looseness. Make sure it isn't sticking, damaged, or in proper setting. You're gonna check the steering wheel, the clutch, and accelerator. You're gonna also check the brake controls. You're gonna check the foot brake, the trailer brakes, if equipped, because some trucks don't come with the trailer brakes. Your parking brakes and your retarder controls. All right, moving on. You're gonna check your transmission controls, inner axle differential locks. You're gonna check your horn. So when doing a test, one of the horns have to be working, either the city horn or your air horn. You're gonna check your windshield wipers and washer. You're gonna check your lights, headlights, dimmer switch, turn signal, four-way flashers, parking, clearance, identification, and marker switches. So make sure all your lights are working. Check mirrors and windshield. Inspect mirrors and windshield for cracks, dirt, illegal stickers, or other obstruction to your vision. Clean and adjust as necessary. Check emergency equipment. So these are some of the things that you want to get familiar with. So when you go in and do your pre-trip inspection side of for your CDL, you want to make sure you know this information. You're going to check, make sure you have safety equipment. So you're going to check, make sure you have spare electrical fuses. You're going to make sure you have 3 reflect triangles, 6 fuses, or 3 liquid burning flares, one or the other. You don't have to have all 3. Properly charged and rated fire extinguisher. So you want to check your fire extinguisher, make sure it's in the green area and not in the red. Now these are some optional things that you could have on the truck, but I suggest you at least get the chains. So if you're going to be driving like in snow or any winter conditions, you want to make sure you have chains. Tire changing equipment, that's not a requirement, but if you know how to change a tire, you could have it on your truck. So you want to have a list of emergency phone numbers, state troopers, environmental cleanup crews, uh, just your dispatcher, your safety. Like you want to have these numbers, just in case you have to hurry up and grab it. Accident reporting kit, the company provides that information for you. If you are owner operator, then it's something that you have to provide for yourself. Check safety belts. Check that the safety belt is securely mounted, adjusted, and latched properly, and is not ripped or frayed. So you want to examine a safety belt, make sure it's going to hold you in that seat. And that concludes this section of the pre-trip. The next part is going to go in more detail. It's going to be a little longer because I'm trying to close this section out so I can move on to the next section. So this is going to be a 3-part series, that's pretty much covering the pre-trip side and anything that involves driving safely on the road. So in that conclusion, I thank everyone for attending. I will catch you guys next time on the next episode. You guys have a safe trip out there, and always practice safety, pre-trip your vehicle because it prevents accidents.